if you take a look at my channel, you'll notice that I talk about a lot of Sonic fan creations, whether that's fan games, AMVs, fan art, ROM hacks, what have you. But something that I've been neglectful of, I guess besides my own, are Sonic fan mods. I mean, I've been making Sonic videos for almost 3 years, and besides like a stream here or there in like Sonic Forces Overclocked, I haven't talked about mods a lot, which is odd because I've been part of the modding community and it's one of the largest subsections of this community. So today I'm going to rectify that mistake because I'll be going over some of my favorite Sonic mods that I have played either recently or I've been playing for years and just talk about them. This video has been long overdue, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it. I think it would be crazy if I didn't talk about the literal Gmod of Sonic games, Sonic Generations. If you want to talk about modding in Sonic, you have to look at this game. Over a decade of modding support later, and it has evolved into things as simple as model swaps to complex as completely importing Super Mario 64 into this game with accurate controls. Or why not just import the entirety of the day stages from Sonic Unleashed? Just why not? The range that you can get with mods here is insane. Now, unfortunately, I have not been able to play any mods for this game or the game in general because the game just doesn't work for my PC anymore. I have no idea why. Thankfully, my good friend Supercon, modder extraordinaire, was able to get some footage from me. At least I hope. I haven't asked him yet. But if you're seeing footage on the screen, it's because he got footage for me. And for all of these games, I'll be picking my all-time favorite mod. And for this game, I have to go with the customizable Sonic mod by Lady Lunanova. This mod is one of those mods that's not super game-changing, but it's such a essential mod to me that I just have to add on at all times. So basically what this mod does is that it adds different costumes for Sonic Tour in the game, but instead of just being one piece, it's split up into 5 sections: the shoes, the left glove, the right glove, the body, and the head. So you can customize each part of Sonic how you want without being limited to what part looks like what. And what I love about this is that you can equip Sonic with all these different references from all parts of his history, like the SA1 shoes, the iconic soap shoes, to deep cuts like the boots from Lost World's Legend of Zelda DLC. On his hands, you can have the ring from Secret Rings and the gauntlet from Black Knight. And the body's also really cool, featuring stuff like his vest from the Olympic Games and the SA2 Battle Techno suit. Finally, the head. While not as extensive, we still have some cool stuff like headphones and Link's cap from, again, the Legend of Zelda DLC. All of the clothing items here call back to a specific part of Sonic's history and some little detail that I just love about it. And what really makes this mod is that you don't have to go to a menu. You just pause the game wherever you are, it freezes, you can put on what you want, and then you can just keep playing. Overall, this mod, while on the surface is basic, it is something that I always have on and is probably my fave mod in the whole history of this game. Up next, I want to talk about Sonic Adventure. Now, if you know me, Sonic Adventure is my favorite Sonic game of all time, period. Both in the gameplay and in the history of this game. The development of this game is so interesting to me, and one of the most captivating things to me is the cut stages. And I think you already know where I'm going with this. My favorite mod in this game is the Windy Valley Auto Demo mod by It's Easy Actually and Super Cool Sonic that fully restores the cut original level of Windy Valley that seemingly was cut and replaced last minute because they were able to find the data of the level in the auto demo disc, and the Mad Lads actually fully reconstructed this back to a complete state. And I literally never played this game without this mod turned on. This is and would have been my favorite level in the game if it was never removed, but unfortunately the level was too hardware intensive and they had to scrap it and completely redo it again. But looking at other mods, similar to Sonic Gens, the modding scene has evolved so much. Like, we have a multiplayer mod by Kel and Sora, obviously the Dreamcast conversion mod, Lantern Engine mod, and the Dreamcast Models mod that basically converts the DX game into the Dreamcast game, and I guess I can plug my mod, which is now compatible with the Dreamcast conversion mod, so go play it! Please go play it. Now, I wanted to throw a 2D game in here, so might as well talk about Mania. And Mania is probably the best choice because the modding scene in this game is unreal if you want to look at level mods, because there's level mods for days. Some of my favorites are Sea Tide Hill Zone, which is this really cool Splash Hill inspired zone that is actually really fun, and the music being pulled from the OVA is really nice. Now we get into mod packs with the Sonic Mania Misfits pack, which is 4 levels from classic Sonic, including Hilltop, Aquatic Ruins, Labyrinth, and Metropolis Zone, and Maniafies them, basically taking these levels and changing them up in the style of how Mania would. And I love these, especially Labyrinth Zone, with how Act 2 takes notes from the beta of Sonic 1 and visuals from the concept arts having like this Starry Night visual from like the original looks of the game, or Metropolis Act 2 having a blend between Metropolis Zone and Wood Zone from the concept arts. Honestly, this mod would probably be my favorite if it wasn't for Sonic Mania Mega Mix. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, well, it's because it's the spiritual successor to the ROM hack of the similar name, Sonic Mega Mix, which is kind of like the first Mania if you think about it. And with Sonic Mania Mega Mix, not only does it include the original Sonic Mega Mix stages, but it includes a whole new game with 12 zones and 6 characters including Sonic, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and Mighty. It is genuinely insane that this mod has so much content, and is my favorite mod in the whole game. Next up, I want to talk about Shadow Gens. Now, unfortunately, the modding scene isn't as big as other games mentioned because it's fairly new, but the mods that are here are of quality. But specifically, I want to talk about Skyward Castle by Shindash. Now, this one I've actually been following for quite some time because I'm friends with the mod creator Shindash, who has also been helping me out with my Shadow Gens mod, so shout out to him. But I got to see him make this mod, and genuinely some of the shit here is kind of next level when it comes to level mods. Like, I'm not seeing anybody doing what he's doing when it comes to level mods. And specifically for Skyward Castle, I don't think I've ever seen anybody who has made a level with this much quality in the level design and presentation, but at the same time is the same length of a Sonic Heroes level, being around 11 minutes. Now, you know me, I hate Heroes, and one of those reasons is the level lengths, but here, the level one is obviously really fun, but it also feels really dynamic, being split up into different sections: the entrance of the castle, the cave, the sky castle, and the waterfall. So despite its length, the level never feels dull or boring because it keeps switching it up. And besides the fun gameplay, the visual presentation on this level is in a league of its own, with the dynamic camera angles that are cool but also make the game playable. And Shadow coming out of Volcano, he does a little flip, or this waterfall section from the original Kingdom Valley being here, and you can actually run on the waterfall, unlike the final game. Although it is a bit wonky, it's still cool that he got it to work. And probably the biggest shock to me was the third part of the level. Once you leave the cave, the level splits into 2 paths, and this isn't just like some basic shortcut. Depending on what route you take, the level will play completely differently. Overall, this mod is the pinnacle of Shadow Gens modding, and is the golden standard of what modding maps should strive to be. But listen, I can glaze all day. It's time to talk about the final game. When it comes to the modding scene, Sonic Frontiers is definitely second and will probably surpass Sonic Generations when it comes to the modding scene, just for the sole fact that the modding potential for the very first open zone Sonic game just opens the door to endless mods to be made for this game. Some of my favorites include the restoration of Beta Chronos, like with the Chronos Reimagined mod by Sonic Series fan, that combines the Chronos, Rhea, and Orenos Islands all into one how they originally were meant to be. There are a ton of level mods for this game, like Sunken Fleet by Clever Chow, or the Helios Equinox level pack by Square Rabbit Studios, which is probably my favorite level pack in the whole game because the levels are just so fun. Or Scrub D's original Cyberspace mod, which aims to create fully new level aesthetics for the cyberspace stages, and is my favorite mod of the game, or at least was. But the one mod that I really want to talk about, and is now my favorite Sonic Frontiers mod of all time, is Sonic Frontiers Revisited. Now, this is going to be the most quote-unquote review sounding part of this video, because this is my most anticipated mod for Frontiers, with the target of trying to make the game match the original concept art's vision. So I'm going to talk about this as a review so that hopefully it can become the best mod it can be, starting with the open zone itself. This is probably the highlight of the mod, and the part that they needed to get right, and thankfully they did. The world design with new platforming and the overhauled aesthetic, calling back to the original concept art, is so cool. And they even overhauled the lighting to kind of match the original beta video. I will say though, it is a bit too green, but at night it's perfect. Something, however, that I feel like needs to be changed is the controls. I don't know if it's a me thing in the settings, but Sonic feels way too tanky and floaty compared to how tight and precise the base game feels. It makes platforming annoying at times, which ruins otherwise good design. However, I do like the roll and the bounce. Those are great additions. Something that I wasn't expecting to be so great was the cyberspace, using a mix of the original cyberspace aesthetic by Scrub D and a mix of old and new level design makes for some fantastic levels. And this came out of left field. I didn't even know they were doing this. And I will say the controls work much better here than in the open zone because they complement the more linear design. But something that gets in the way, especially in the open zone, is the new camera angles. I feel like they prioritized stylish camera angles rather than good camera angles or practical ones. So I don't really get a good look of where I'm going, and it becomes a hindrance more often than not. And combined with the tanky controls, it makes platforming a real pain at times. And finally, just overall technical polish needs to be worked on. I know they were releasing patches, but I feel like sometimes still my frame rate drops a lot, forcing me to drop my graphics settings, and the lighting flickers every once in a while, from at least last time I played. Overall, while I adore the new visual overhaul and the cyberspace, this mod on the technical side holds it back for me a lot. However, I still enjoyed what I played a lot, and the original appeal of making this game look like the original concept arts was still pulled off perfectly, and I cannot wait to see what this future of this mod holds, because they're planning on doing this for the whole game, so I'm very excited. I want to give a quick honorable mention because I completely forgot to mention it. Sonic Colors ReRainbowed, which is made by Blue Wolf, which I'm also acquaintances with. He is attempting to do a proper remaster of Sonic Colors Ultimate because that game sucks at a remaster. But from what he has so far, it's not a complete mod. It is amazing, and I can't wait to see the final product whenever that happens. Hopefully in the next 10 years. I'm kidding. And with that, those are some Sonic mods that I really liked. It was fun to take a look back at some of the mods that I haven't played for a while and just look at new mods. It's also been really fun to make mods with the Sonic Adventure Saturn mod and with that Shadow Gens mod that I've been working on, which I don't know when that will be out, but it will eventually be done. I've been taking a little break on it. I got a little burned down on it. Also, I liked making my adventure mod more, but yeah. Well, hopefully maybe when I don't know what, but that's really all I have to say for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment down below. What is your favorite Sonic mod of all time? Let me know in the comments. I'll see if I agree or disagree with you. Or do you agree with my picks? Let me know in the comment section. I was thinking about talking about something else in this video, but I'm gonna hold my tongue for a later video. Maybe when that Shadow Gens mod comes out. Because there is a reason why I haven't been talking about the mods. I'll just let you guys know. If you know who I am, you've watching my streams, you probably know why. I'll probably talk about it in that video when I finish the Shadow Gens mod. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. See you on the next one. Bye!